As far as reality TV shows go, 90 Day Fiancé has certainly been one of the most fascinating. Since the show began back in 2014, we've seen many real, happy and loving relationships blossom, but we've also seen some of the worst, most toxic relationships ever on TV. But what's happened since the cameras stopped rolling? Where are the couples now? Today, we're going to be looking at some of the most memorable couples from the show, including a shocking development with Anfisa and Jorge. Stay tuned. Season 4 gave us one of the most attractive couples on the show, Pedro and Chantel. Unfortunately, it turns out that looks alone don't make a relationship work. The main stressor on their relationship seemed to be their families. Chantel's family suspected Pedro and his family of being in the relationship simply for money and citizenship. Pedro's sister, in particular, clashed big time with Chantel. Cultural differences also played a role in their struggles, like that infamous moment when Chantel's family found themselves disgusted and, frankly, insulted when Pedro's family served them chicken feet during their visit to the Dominican Republic.
You want the chicken feet?
Mommy, I'll get the chicken feet is disrespectful.
No. Yes. My mother and not try, they respect you, okay?
Very few fans expected this couple to make it, but somehow that's exactly what they've been doing. Whilst their families still frequently clash, Pedro and Chantel have continued their lives together, even appearing in multiple seasons of the spin-off 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After show. That does not mean, however, that their relationship has been all laughter and roses. Chantel herself has said in an interview that sometimes she thinks her marriage feels like a scam, and both have admitted on the show that they feel hopeless about their marriage. Despite it all, they're still together, proving friends and family wrong. Not every couple from season 4 has stayed married though. Some haven't even made it to the altar yet. Azan and Nicole were featured on not one but 2 seasons of the show, and they still haven't tied the knot. Their relationship, like so many others on the show, was rocky from the start, and they even had their first argument about Azan's culture as soon as Nicole got off the plane to visit him in Morocco.
Why do you just stare at me like that?
Don't tell me what to do because I know already.
Hassan!
I know because I know.
Why are you saying don't tell you what to do?
Infidelity on both sides put more pressure on them, and Nicole's weight also sparked conflict. Azan made his position on her weight very clear. He wanted her to lose a lot of it, and he believed the reason she wouldn't was out of laziness.
There's some stuff I wanted to change up, like to go to gym and like to not be lazy. And
I'm not lazy.
sometimes you are.
Nicole promised Azan she would put effort into losing weight, but simultaneously had a secret stash of junk food. Nicole called their wedding off, and they used the money to start a beauty store in Morocco. Nicole has since expressed her regret in doing so, and it would appear that their store hasn't even opened.
Mom, that we were talking about opening a store, we never winded up going through with it.
So there is no store?
There is no store.
The pair haven't gotten hitched yet, as Nicole still doesn't have the funds to do so, and Azan continues to live in Morocco. A friend of Nicole's has even claimed that the pair don't even plan on getting married at all in the near future. Despite this, they are still together, at least for the time being. From season 3 came another couple that had unique challenges to overcome, Mark and Nikki. Right off the bat, something didn't feel right about these two. Mark was 58 when he proposed to 19-year-old Nikki, and he didn't exactly calm everyone's nerves in regards to their relationship, as he showed himself to be an extremely controlling husband.
Not allowed?
It's not allowed. No, that was one of the rules when my children were...
Really?
They never touched the window.
After the airing of the show, Mark was furious about how he was portrayed, and he filed multiple lawsuits against the makers of the show, TLC. Unfortunately for Mark, the courts did not rule in his favour, and his case was thrown out. Since then, the pair have tried to distance themselves from the spotlight as much as possible, completely logging off social media. Reddit threads about the two claim that Mark and Nikki are still together and that they've seen them around their hometown, but nothing has come directly from the couple themselves. Mark's daughter, Elise, who is actually 3 years older than her stepmom, Nikki, seems to have cut ties off with her father. But as far as we're aware, the couple are still very much together and are still married to this day. Danielle and Mohamed joined the show in its second season, and right away we all knew something wasn't quite right. The pair had a huge gap and zero chemistry from the beginning. They argued constantly, and though they did get married, Mohamed left her on their wedding night to be with another woman. She had to beg him to be intimate with her, and even then she said that she didn't get what she wanted until 2 months after their wedding. Danielle felt used by her husband and tried to annul their marriage to get him deported, but he talked her out of it, forcing her to settle for a divorce instead. However, she is still trying, and she filed a civil action lawsuit against him, accusing him of fraud by luring her into a romantic relationship to secure funds and immigration status. In total, she's asking for $12,500 of compensation.
What we gonna do?
You are the only one responsible
about the money till I get a job. We lost everything.
For the time being, Mohamed remains firmly planted in the States. He lives in Austin, Texas, where he's pursuing his love of photography. It's not clear if he's found a new lady yet, but for the time being at least, he seems content with his little dog Bowie, and he posts about his furry friend on Instagram often. Danielle has found herself a new boyfriend, but they are not very active on social media. They both seem to be moving on from their time together in very different ways. Another season 2 couple, Danny and Amy, seem to be a bright spot on the show. Seen as one of the most legitimate couples on the entire series, they met at a Bible study camp in Australia. The biggest obstacle that they had to face was Danny's family, who disapproved of their son entering into an interracial relationship.
Are you two really prepared for this interracial marriage in our country where it's not accepted?
Still, the couple persevered and they held on to each other and their Christian beliefs. Since the show, Danny's father has made attempts to improve his relationship with Amy, and the couple has moved down to Texas where they're raising their 2 kids, Jedediah and Anna. They still have their social media accounts, but they aren't particularly active on them. They seem to be extremely happy together, and they have made sure to keep their faith a large part of their lives, since that was the thing that brought them together in the first place. They've even opened a new church together. In an attempt to keep herself and her family healthy, Amy has even started making her own toothpaste. The couple seems to be one of the few absolute success stories to be featured on the show. Unfortunately, not every story can end so perfectly. We've saved one of the most infamous couples on the entire show, Anfisa and Jorge, for last. Though there have been several people accused of using their fiancé for money on this show, Anfisa was much more open about it than anyone else, bluntly demanding nice things from Jorge and admitting that she wasn't going to let up anytime soon.
You keep wanting more and more. Like, when is the end? We went through a lot.
Despite what most of us expected, they did end up getting married, but that does not mean that everything was smooth sailing for them after filming finished. Jorge found himself in some legal trouble in Arizona, where he was found with 300 pounds of marijuana in his car. He was then sentenced to 22 months in prison, during which time he spent racking up hours of employment. Anfisa, to the surprise of many, has been quite supportive during her husband's incarceration, and in the meantime, she's been working on her bodybuilding game, even doing so competitively.
Hey guys, I won everything. Look at this.
The couple seems to want to move on from the show, and we wish them all the very best for their future once Jorge gets out of prison. So what do you think? Which of these couples will stand the test of time and remain married happily ever after? Leave a comment below. And are there any couples in our list that you're surprised broke up or you're surprised are still together? Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, catch you on the next video.